What's good, everybody? Joey JP checking in, respectmyregion.com. Welcome back to another episode of The Breakdown, the show where RMR breaks down all things football, fighting, gaming, and sports worldwide. I'm your host, Joey JP, and today you guys are on the RMR Podcast Network with today's breakdown brought to you guys by drinkblackmarket.com, our premier partners for all things hemp, THC, mocktails, cocktails, hightails, and just a delicious experience, a low dose buzz for a high quality experience. Drinkblackmarket.com. Big shout out to our partners in that. So today, folks, we've got a great episode. We're going to be talking through a couple different segments. First segment, NFL Week 2 recap. Tonight, Monday Night Football, Raiders. You guys already know the deal, man. You guys already know the deal. We had to walk outside. We had to pop out here and go, Raiders. We just, it's Monday night. We doing it real big. We keeping it real spicy today, folks. First segment, NFL Week 2 recap. Raiders versus Chargers is tonight, Monday Night Football. Segment 2, Canelo versus Crawford. Crawford got the dub. Canelo's legacy. We're going to talk about that. Big, huge fight there. We got a little bit of a sports roundup for segment 3, gaming, soccer, UFC, NBA, MLB. We're going to touch base on all things Madden. We're going to touch base on all things soccer. We're going to touch base on the Champions League, Messi, the men's national team for the U.S. We got a quick little update for UFC, a quick update for the NBA, and the small update for the MLB. Today's episode, The Breakdown, is brought to you guys by drinkblackmarket.com. Big shout out to our other sponsors, drinktriple.com and drinkelevatorcannabis.com. Let's dive right in, folks, shall we? This is going to be a good one. Boom! All right, here we go, folks. Raiders 1-0, Chargers 1-0. Two teams, AFC West. Winner takes early control of the AFC West. AFC is the AFC plays the NFC in the Super Bowl at the end of the year. This matchup has playoff implications always, even though both teams are still early right now. We have two quarterbacks that have just balled out in the previous week. Geno Smith threw for 333 yards in week 1. But the running game stalled with just 56 rushing yards. Although Ashton Jonty did get a touchdown, the running game was just not where it needed to be. This week, we also lost one of our guards. He went out with concussion protocol. Just Jackson Powers, we wish he was going to be there. It's just he's going to be hurt for right now. He's got to take care of the concussion. Herbert, though, Chargers quarterback, 318 passing yards per game last season, top 5 in the NFL. His chemistry with his wide receivers are crucial. Keenan Allen back, really doing incredible things. My pick, though, obviously Raiders. I'm going 33-27 on the pick. We're going to get more points, more scores, but ultimately I think Brock Bowers, who is playing, he was on the injury reports all week long, but Brock Bowers, the Raiders tight end, he's all pro tight end. He's rated by his peers as the number 1 tight end in the NFL. He's playing. Pete Carroll says he's playing. We're gonna have him and Jacoby Myers doing his thing. 33-27 Raiders. That's my pick. Herbert's gonna do his thing, but ultimately I think our linebackers are gonna keep him in check. That's what I'm hoping for. They're not a great bunch, but I'm really hoping to see that effort. Now, in terms of the betting lines and the props, folks, it's something to really think about. It's something to consider. If you guys are betting, the spread right now is the Chargers are down negative 3.5. There's a total spread of 46.5. And right now the public is heavy on on the Chargers. The public is heavy on Los Angeles winning the game. And there's the sharps are leaning under. So something for you guys to think about as you guys start betting is the Chargers are negative 3.5. The total spread is 46.5. And public is heavy on LA with the sharps leaning under. Other key prop bets are Kobe Myers receiving yards, something to think about. Last week he had almost 100 yards. He was one more pass or only less than 5 yards away from being at 100, so that's really crucial. Another prop bet, Herbert and his passing yards. Is he going to average more than his 318 per game last year? For last season, he already had a big game last week. What do you guys think he's going to do? And then Austin Eckler, just scoring a touchdown. He's been consistent. He's been a serious value to the Chargers, and I think that's an option for you guys to really pay attention to. One of the other props is the Chargers allowed 249 passing yards in week one. The Raiders' aerial attack definitely has a chance to exploit that, and so that's something to really pay attention to. Will the Raiders exploit the Chargers' defense, and will they get more than 250 yards, or they get more than 300? Just something for you guys to think about. Myself, I'm really hoping for another 350 from Geno. I would say 350 total yards. If he gets anywhere close to 300 and runs around a little bit, that would make me happy. If John T gets 50 to 100 yards, that would make me happy. We just got to do whatever it takes to win. Right now, the AFC West is in an interesting place. The Chiefs are in a tough spot. They lost yesterday to the Eagles. They lost their first game to the Chargers. Right now, they're sitting at 0-2. As the team that was in the Super Bowl for the AFC last year, losing to the Eagles, the Raiders are in an interesting position to actually have a chance this year because the team that already was the front runner is now 0-2 on the season. We've got the Chargers, the Raiders, both at 1-0. Monday Night Football. This is gonna be huge. A Raiders win validates their new offensive identity without Devontae Adams. It validates the coaching decisions, Pete Carroll and Chip Kelly. It validates Patrick Graham as our defensive coordinator for I want to say his fifth season. There's so much here that could go into this matchup, and it's huge. Now, on the other side, the Chargers win, folks, reinforces Herbert as the AFC West challenger to Mahomes. Remember, the Chargers are in a different position than the Raiders are in terms of their brand, in terms of their season, in terms of what they're currently working on, in terms of season and goals and what they can achieve. This Chargers win reinforces Herbert as the only true AFC West challenger to Patty Mahomes, who multiple Super Bowls, one of the best quarterbacks and leaders in the game and all time today. So big shout out to the Chargers. Good luck. Big shout out to the Raiders. Obviously, double, triple good luck. And what an exciting week we've had of football. Some really, really great matchups. Some really great just games. Now, what were the top games from the NFL this week? This is a question. This is a question that I got yesterday when I was working at the lounge. I had all the games on. I had the highlights playing. And here's some of the top moments from this week. Let's just read through some of this. Patriots versus Dolphins, New England 33, Miami 27. Back-to-back returning touchdowns. Miami's Malik Washington had a 74-yard punt return. New England's Antonio Gibson answered immediately with a 90-yard kick return. How exciting was that? Super dope. Rams versus Titans. LA Rams 33, Tennessee 19. It looks like Cam Ward is struggling over there in Tennessee. Not super bad, but also tough enough. A strip sack by Byron Young swung field position and game flow into Rams' favor. It's just like that. Cowboys versus Giants. Dallas 40, New York Giants 37. Ultimately, it was Russell Wilson throwing a fucking interception that tossed the game for the Giants. Otherwise, Dallas had to come back to tie the game and then ultimately hit a massive field goal to win. They got into position for that field goal because of a Dak Prescott scramble for 10, 15, 20 yards, and that ultimately made it like a 46-yard field goal to win. Big shout out to the Cowboys. They need it. I still don't like the Cowboys. Lions, Bears. Detroit put up a 50-piece on Chicago. Chicago is just bad, folks. Chicago's just bad. I'm not a Caleb Williams fan. I'm not a Bears fan. I used to really like Brian Urlacher, but those days are cooked. Just like the Bears in their defense yesterday. Detroit 52, Chicago 21. Amon-Ra St. Brown absolutely lit it up. 9 catches, 115 yards, 3 touchdowns. Huge. Defensive back Brian Branch also made noise, forced fumbles, sacks, general chaos in the backfield. Big shout out to the Lions, destroying the Bears. Ravens, Browns, another key game yesterday. Baltimore 41, Ravens 41, Browns 17. Joe Flacco struggled, man. It was tough. Definitely a blowout. Lamar Jackson looked like he was playing on rookie mode on Madden, and that's ultimately where I'm at. Big shout out to the players that stepped up. Big shout out to the games that went down to the wire and made this week exciting. Now, as we move into this next segment, I want to make sure we do a big shout out to our sponsor for the NFL segment here, drinkblackmarket.com. Make sure you guys grab a bottle, pour up with your friends, make some hightails, and consider Black Market as your non-alcoholic alternative if you guys are not into drinking. Now, in this segment, the second segment here on the breakdown, we've got Canelo versus Crawford in the aftermath within this boxing match. This was a title boxing match. It was a Ring Magazine official title. Canelo Álvarez was defending the title. Crawford was 41-0 with 31 knockouts. He's the pound for pound number one at two other weight classes. Canelo Álvarez was 62 and 2-2 with 39 knockouts, an all-time great, one of the best boxers of all time. I want to say 167.5 pounds was the weight class. Crawford had to move up weight classes to fight at this. He looked bigger than all of the highlights that in terms of his size. He was physically larger than he looked and appeared. And every highlight that they were showing, every knockout, every championship, every video we watched, he was not at 167.5 pounds. We get into this fight. He's now, pound for pound, the number one fighter in the world. Canelo Álvarez drops to 63 wins, 3 losses, and 2 draws with 39 knockouts. Still an all-time amazing athlete, an all-time boxer, a legend, a champion. But now, Crawford, Terence Bud Crawford, Omaha, Nebraska's 42-0, never lost. 31 knockouts, absolutely incredible. The judges scored it 116-112, Crawford. 115-113, Crawford. And 115-113, Crawford. Decision for Terence Bud Crawford. On the business side, folks, this was a very interesting boxing match. You guys might have noticed it streamed on Netflix. It also streamed on DAZN, ESPN, and PBC. Those are all fighting. Oh, I'm sorry, it streamed on Netflix exclusively. Other networks were fighting for the rights to the rematch, which is a massive global opportunity. Overall, 70,482 people attended the fight at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. $47 million in gate revenue, which was a record-setting. Canelo's purse was $150 million. Crawford's purse, $10 million. The earnings gap highlights boxing's business politics. I mean, ultimately, Canelo is one of the biggest brands in the entire world in terms of boxing. We're talking somebody that is as well known in boxing as Money Mayweather, Floyd Money Mayweather, but across Latin America, across Mexico, across Central, across Southern America, worldwide. Canelo Álvarez is one of, if not the best known boxer in today's world. And Crawford earning what he earned, $10 million, comparatively to the $150 million from Canelo. It's going to do great things for Crawford, I'm sure, but absolutely drastic in terms of a difference and money there. Now, some of the betting lessons here. Crawford won by decision. Cashing, fight goes the distance tickets. So it went 12 rounds. So if you thought the fight was going to go the distance, that was a great opportunity to bet on. Crawford out-jabbed Canelo 45-16 per CompuBox. Really, really controlling the pace. You might have saw Canelo doing these haymakers, trying to really land a punch, and he was getting big punches on the body. But ultimately, when he would go on those runs, Crawford would defend and come back and jab, jab, jab. And we saw many of those jabs land in some capacity. Odds makers will now shorten Crawford's lines. The days of getting him as a near pick'em are over. So great opportunities there. If Crawford chooses to fight again, there's some really solid opportunities there. The man is on a mission, and yet this weekend he completed that mission. Big shout out to our sponsor for that segment, drinktriple.com. The crisp hemp THC seltzer designed to refresh, relax, and elevate any game day. 3 milligrams THC in every can, 10 milligrams when it comes to their lemonades. And then we also have a microdose with their triple drop, which is a mixer that you can squeeze into any beverage to get to infuse your beverage. Drinktriple.com, the official crisp hemp THC seltzer of Respect My Region and the Breakdown NFL Week 2 segment. Now, guys, as we get into segment 3, the sports roundup, gaming, soccer, UFC, the NBA, the MLB. I'm going to run through this, share some quick news, because there's a lot going on in the world of sports. There always is. We've got Madden 25 just launching and the revenue that is generating there. We've got global esports revenue expected to reach $1.8 billion this year. Tournaments in League of Legends, CS2, Call of Duty. All of these different things helping to expand the gaming and esports category. But here's the big question. Can U.S. esports leagues compete with Asia's dominance in viewership and prize pool. Now, I wasn't aware that there was such a gap between U.S. esports leagues and the Asian ones. I had no clue. Now, I could say a bunch of stereotypical things like, oh, this or maybe that or technology or that's where they make it. But all of that would be said with ignorance. And that's not even what I believe because I've never even thought about it before. So where I stand on can the U.S. esports leagues compete, I think it's a competition that will continue with Asia's dominance until we get more athletes, regular world athletes, regular celebrities, brands with huge followings to really encourage, influence, inspire regular people that are in the regular world of sports as fans into esports. We need to gamify gaming. We need to incentivize the participation of it. There's a lot of people that don't have the best perspectives of playing video games. Like it creates laziness, or they should be focusing. Kids should be focusing on somewhere else. And so until we comprehensively change the culture, it will be difficult, not impossible, for U.S. esports leagues to compete with Asia's dominance. We want to change that. We want to improve that. We want to continue growing it. We want to make it inclusive. We want to make it fair. We want to make it diverse. And that is huge. And until that happens, it's going to be hard to compete. Now, folks, this segment, of course, sponsored by drinkelevatorcannabis.com. This is another one of our premium hemp THC drink beverage partners. These guys focus on making teeny options. And what I mean by that is that they got the lemon teeny, the lime teeny, and the orange teeny. And these are mocktail, cocktail inspired THC seltzers with real fruit juice and healthier sweetener alternatives. drinkelevatorcannabis.com, our premier partner for segment 3, our sports roundup today. Big shout out to all the companies and all the brands participating, and shout out to Madden 25 launching with record pre-orders. It's incredible, right? Now, as we move forward into our roundup for global sports, soccer spotlight. I was watching Barcelona yesterday crush Valencia. I watched them put up 4 goals, I want to say in the first half of the game. Could have been a solid 20, 30 minutes is what it felt like. But it just really felt like the Champions League, the football around the world is just, as always, picking up pace. I'm watching it as the NFL's on, and it was phenomenal. Real Madrid and Man City both are favorites to advance. Lionel Messi continues to boost the MLS, with Inter Miami averaging a 25% increase in attendance since his debut. The U.S. men's national team is prepping for the 2026 World Cup on home soil. Pressure is rising on some of the young stars like Christian Pulisic. And then in terms of the UFC, NBA, and MLB, we've got some quick updates. The UFC, Jon Jones, heavyweight return fight is drawing hype. He's a favorite despite not having fought in a while. In the NBA, the training camps open in 2 weeks. The Celtics and Nuggets are early betting favorites for the 2025 title. I don't know that the Celtics and Nuggets are my favorites for the title. The Nuggets have gone through a series of changes. The Celtics are not going to have Jason Tatum for the duration of the year. I don't know that I foresee them being the actual favorites for the basketball season this year. What I ultimately think will happen as we get into the 2026 season and all of these different things is we're going to see LeBron, we're going to see Luka, we're going to see them both do their thing. We're going to see a lot more scoring, a lot better team play. Luka's lost a bunch of weight. He's healthier. We saw him put up a really impressive series of performances over in his European leagues and in those competitions. And I think that's going to translate in a big way here in the NBA season. We should see him having a little bit less nagging injuries because, as we all know, our body reacts when it's out of shape, overweight, understretched, underhydrated, etc. And it seems to me like he's really taking it away. So for me, NBA training camps for sure coming in hot. I can't agree with the Celtics and Nuggets as the early betting favorites right now. It's going to be an exciting season for sure. I think it's fair to say that the Oklahoma City Thunders are the likeliest team to repeat, with the Nuggets giving them a run, the Lakers trying to give them a run, the Knicks trying to give them a run, the Celtics, of course, trying to give them a run. But OKC is absolutely stacked, folks, and it's going to be a hard-pressed situation for other teams to come over that. Now, last but not least, the Major League Baseball. The Dodgers are still doing their thing. And the Seattle Mariners. I mean, God, let's talk about the Seattle. What are what is going on with the Seattle Mariners? What is going on with there's so much going on with the Mariners, the Dodgers, and the rest of Major League Baseball this year. They've been on fire lately with a 9-game winning streak after destroying the Angels 11-2. Cal Raleigh recently smashed his 54th home run, tying Mickey Mantle's season record for a switch hitter. Julio Rodriguez is heating up too. Last 9 games, he's hitting .378 with 9 RBIs, 7 extra base hits, and 3 stolen bases. On the pitching side, George Kirby had a dominant performance versus the Angels, 6.1 innings. 14 strikeouts, 0 walks. The Mariners are fucking on fire, guys. There's a shit ton of going. Mariners are 82-68. Now hold sole possession of first place in the AFC West. In the AL West, they've passed the Astros 81-69 in terms of their overall in the standings. Houston is right behind them, so every win really matters at this point. There's a lot going on. The Dodgers are sitting at 84-65, leading the NL West by about 2.5 games over the Padres. Padres are really doing their things. However, the Dodgers recently swept the Rockies, holding them scoreless in the finale 9-0 with a dominant outing by Blake Snell, 11 strikeouts and 6 scoreless innings. Shohei Ohtani set a new Dodgers record for runs scored in a single season, 135 runs, surpassing his own mark from 2024. The offense for the Dodgers has been firing collectively, not just the stars. Consistent hitting, big innings versus their divisional rivals. Some of the things to watch. The bullpen has had its up and downs with the Dodgers. Tight games, reliever performances will be scrutinized. Right now, injury-wise, we've got Will Smith on the IL with a hand injury, and that could affect depth and lineup flexibility. That do still have a magic number to clinch the division, which is not done yet. There's pressure from the Padres and a couple other NL West teams, but ultimately, I think the Dodgers are going to pull it tight. The AL West is a close race. Mariners are in first, Astros close behind, Rangers pushing for the wild card. Run-scoring feats are making headlines with Cal Raleigh chasing for switch hitter home run records. Ohtani's run totals that we just saw, 135. And there's only a few weeks left, right? They call it October, right? It's playoff season. So teams that can stay hot down the stretch tend to earn home field advantage or a favorable wild card positioning. Some teams are making playoff pushes by promoting prospects. Giants are calling up Bryce Eldridge to try and boost offense in a tight wild card race. We're starting to see some changes made. The chess moves are coming out to finish out the Major League Baseball season, folks. It's a huge opportunity here for you guys to participate, for you to watch some games, for you to enjoy what's going on, and it's going to be a good one. My picks, I'm going to pick Seattle because I'm a Seattle fan. I want to see them get to the second and third round of the playoffs. I want to see them get to the World Series. The likelihood of that is tough, but I would love to see that, obviously. But who do I think is ultimately going to win? I mean, the Dodgers are stacked. The Yankees are stacked. A lot of Padres are great, but I'm pulling for the Mariners. And so big shout out to the MLB, the NFL, the UFC, the MLS, all the leagues across the country. Big shout out to our sponsors, drinktriple.com, drinkblackmarket.com, drinkelevatorcannabis.com. We really appreciate our sponsors. If you guys would like to reach out and purchase some of their products, be sure to send me a DM on Instagram at Joey, Jay Ping. And I'd love to get you guys our affiliate code to save some money and place an order. Raider Nation in the house, Monday Night Football, Mariners on the move, Dodgers on the fight, soccer in the house, all the good stuff. I'm Joey J. Ping. This is the RMR Podcast Network, folks. And this was another episode of The Breakdown. I love you guys. Big shout out to all of you guys for participating. Make sure you guys go visit our new website, rmrgameday.com, and stay tuned for the first official episode of The Joey Brabo Show, available on thejoeybraboshow.com, as well as the Respect My Region Podcast Network and our social medias. I love you guys. You already know the deal. We got to get it to work. We got to go make these moves. It's a Monday. Make sure you stay inspired, stay motivated, and I'll see you on the next episode. Love you all. And as we say in Raider Nation, Raider!